Living on 227K a year in London? Hey family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt. If you're new here, welcome. You're turning a family member, thank you. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all that fun stuff for me. I very much appreciate it. Guys, remember my Instagram's linked down below. Go check me out over there. Join the family. Alright guys, let's jump into this video. Guys, we have another Millennial Money today. I love this series. Like I say every video, I'm gonna try to go through all of them, react to all of them. And I got some new reaction videos coming up as well in the future, so stay tuned for that. Depending on when you're seeing this, so different series are coming as well. So that'll be in the future. Guys, Millennial Money is about millennials in different parts of the United States. Salaries, they live in different geographic areas. They are, a variety of ages, anywhere from, in their early 20s to their early 30s. Great group to look at. Financial habits, their debt, their income, their assets, what businesses, what jobs they have, everything, what college they went to, student loan debt, all types of different aspects of their life, what kind of car they drive, their social life. It's great. So today we have another episode. This one is called Living on $227,000 a year in London, England. Millennial Money. Dang. Another international one. I've always wanted to go to London. Hopefully I'll get to go soon. That's on my bucket list for sure. So guys, let's jump into this video and see what we got here, guys. Let's go. See what this person does for a living and make so much money. Let's get it.
Has always been to live abroad. So when I got the opportunity to move to London, it was kind of a dream come true, even though it was somewhat unexpected. My name's Imani Change. I'm 28 and I live in London, UK. My salary is comprised of both a base salary and stock and investments, which comprises of money that is paid in pounds, but also US dollars. Last year, I was actually promoted to my current...
All right, so she's a senior operations manager, probably for a large company. I'm thinking she lived in the US and then moved to London. That's my best guess.
Senior operations manager. I became one of the youngest senior operations managers here in Europe at that time. Hi, welcome to my living room. So this is actually a space that converts into a second bedroom when I have friends and family visit. This is my kitchen. I definitely spend a lot more time in this space now that I've been cooking more at home.
Yep, Baltimore to London, September 2019. I wonder how long she's gonna stay, and I wonder what company she works for.
So I think the biggest expense that was a bit of a surprise for me when I moved here to London is that it is very comparable to New York City. It's very expensive. Renting is not as easy as it was when I had lived in Baltimore previously. When you're looking for a place, the listing price is not necessarily what you'll get it for. They do a whole bidding process to be able to secure a place, and if it's in a high demand area, the price might be very different ultimately to be able to secure the location.
All right, so this place was listed at $25.70 a month, pretty expensive. All right, but she ended up paying $27.55 a month. Dang, at least she's making the money to back it up.
What they wanted to see is that I could definitely pay my rent, so I ended up paying the first 12 months up front, and then after staying in the place for 1 month, I paid another 4 months.
Wow, $44,000 up front, dang.
Ultimately, that's obviously not something that's easy to do. A big part of being able to do that was getting some support in terms of what my relocation package was. Welcome to the bedroom. So it is a separate space from the living and kitchen, which I really love. It gives us a separate area. We actually just passed the half bath that I'll use when I actually have guests staying with me. And then you'll kind of get to see the space. It has lots of closets, which is not very common in the UK, I find. And then right behind me is where we have the full bathroom that I use on a daily basis. My dad actually had a background of finance growing up, and he always would try to teach me best practices for managing money. Saving, I actually started at the age of 5. When I had my allowance, I had to save 50% of the allowance that I made for college, and it really helped me not only see the value in kind of having this practice of saving some of your income for future things, but it also just allowed me to have a better relationship with money. One thing that makes me a little bit different than many students is I don't have student debt. It definitely
good for her. No student loans. That's awesome.
was made possible through some of the support of my parents, the saving that I had done when I was younger, and also scholarships. I actually moved here expecting to be spending more money and having a bigger budget for my day-to-day life, but what I'm finding is that because I'm in a pandemic, there's a lot less stuff to spend money on, entertainment, etc.
All right, guys, let's look at our budget. So we got investments. Wow, 10 grand. Good. Taxes, 3,500. Housing, 2,900. Savings, 1,329. Miscellaneous, 1,200. Food, 600. Pension, 481. Transportation, 343. Utilities, insurance, 317 and 35. Wow, I like your budget. Investments, amazing. Great. I see no debt in here. She's investing. She's saving. I love it. She's great. She's spending any taxes. All right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, everything looks really good. I have no qualms whatsoever. Keep doing this. She's gonna be very wealthy and very successful, especially when she comes back to the States. Maybe she might come back to the United States in the future. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But maybe in later videos, she's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back in 3 years or whatever." But it's a great experience to live in London, then come back, be back with her parents and everything. So good for her. Very happy for her.
I actually end up spending about 40% less than what I had previously budgeted for. I would say the UK is a little bit more expensive. The big things driving that is my rent is definitely more pricey. When I was living in the US, I actually Airbnb'd out my second bedroom in the place that I was living in, so that covered the expenses of my housing and my rent. The other thing is that I have to pay something called council tax here, which is basically a tax for the services of my neighborhood. And then I also find that I pay a little bit more in utilities. My water bill is more expensive here, but outside of that, things are pretty comparable. Some of the other nice surprises is that groceries were way cheaper. You're able to get a good trip with just 35 pounds, whereas in the US, I couldn't get a decent trip until I paid at least $80. Overall, my expenses are definitely higher here, but it's a big part of just choosing to live abroad and have a different experience. Last year, I became one of the youngest senior operations managers at my company, which is something that was extremely exciting for me, especially since when I started at my company about 5.5 years ago, I always saw this as a role that was kind of unattainable, and I didn't really see people who looked like me doing this work. It was really just figuring out, how do I get there? How do I grow within not only my role, but as a leader, and how do I help other people also move into these spaces that maybe they don't see a lot of people that look like them. And that's kind of been a big goal of mine within growing within my career and hopefully bringing people with me. I do have different cash, so I have my pounds here. I then have my US dollars here that I use if I end up back home. I also have some euros, which have saved me in a pinch when I was traveling around Europe for work and ended up in a taxi that was cash only, and then some South African rands hanging out, and then I think
that's honestly pretty cool. She has the different types of currency in her wallet. Not a bad thing to have. She's ready for anything.
I think that's it. For my everyday spending, I actually use my US credit card. I'm a big traveler. I actually have a card that has no foreign transaction fee, so I still use it here because it has way more benefits than the credit cards they offer in the UK. So I'm able to get a lot of cash back. I'm able to use my points. So overall, I get back about $1,000 a year by using my credit card here instead of using something that's UK-based. Previously, before the pandemic, I would try to go somewhere completely new at least 2 times a year. And I think one of the biggest things that's tough right now is I actually get more time off or annual leave here in the UK. And it sounds like a wonderful thing, but it's actually really hard to find time to use all of it. So right now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to use the time. And I think it just might look different. It might be taking time off to stay at home.
Dang, that sucks. She pays taxes in both the US and the UK. Dang. That's smart. That's smart.
When I was in the US, I was actually doing a max contribution to my 401k, and they have a similar program here in the UK called a pension plan. However, I do contribute less to it. I only contribute the amount that my company will match. And the main reason why is because I don't know how long I'll be here, and I want to definitely have some more control over my funds. Should I move away from the UK, I don't want it to be super complicated to get access to those funds when I'm in my retirement age. I have two different things I would say I splurge on. One is sometimes I will get the nice designer item, but that's something that I feel like once you have a staple in your closet, you can kind of just keep with it and pair it with different outfits.
All right, so $3,000 to $4,000 on a staple item per year. That's totally reasonable with her income.
Now my splurge has become app games on my phone, which sounds really dorky, but there's nothing better than when, especially during pandemic, where you might be just hanging out at home, to be able to play different games on your phone, and they honestly get me with the in-app purchases sometimes. So I'm trying to be better about it. But the one that I'm currently really getting into is one called Redecor, where you basically feel like an interior decorator, but you're not actually decorating, you're just decorating on your phone, so it's kind of fun for me.
Wow, big purchases, $15 to $25 on her income, totally fine.
One of my personal goals is to hopefully figure out how to become a millionaire by 30 and buy a home by the age of 33. A big part of that is me figuring out how to perfect saving money. How can I allow the money that I make to work better for me to make more money? And hopefully it will give me the opportunity to achieve these things and show people that it's possible. And a big part of that is me trying to just kind of take some tips of how I made it simple for myself. And then I'm actually trying to start a website to help share some of those tips and tricks with others. It's called Mo Money No Problem, MoMoneyNoProblem.com. It's something that I'm pulling together to hopefully help represent.
Okay guys, so there it is. There's another millennial money for you. This lady's doing a really good job. She's saving a lot of money. She's making bank. And obviously, I mean, she lives in the UK, so good for her. She's making like $227 a year. A lot of money. She's saving about 10K a month. That's really good. And then she has to pay taxes on both sides, which is interesting, in the UK and in the US. So that's very interesting. Sucks that she has to do for both because she doesn't live in the US. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. The tax law is all complicated. Yeah, that's for a whole nother video. But anyways, overall she's doing good. She has no debt. She's saving a lot of money. She's traveling the world. Good for her. Hopefully she'll be able to visit a lot of countries since she lives in Europe. Very good for her. So yeah, I enjoyed watching this one, and you know, she's killing it. You know, best of luck to her, and she continues to grow in her career. All right guys, remember, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. There's a fly in here, that's always annoying. Anyways, yeah, do all that fun stuff. Remember, follow me on Instagram, link is down below. I appreciate every single one of you guys for checking me out on the weekly basis for my videos. But yeah, all right guys, that's all for today's video. Remember to continue to work to become the best version of yourself, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.